Inbox. Okay, awesome.
What else did you need from BLB?
I got it. I got everything. We live. Hey, everybody. We're going to give everybody a few minutes to come in. This is LaShon the Boisterous.
And I'm Deuce Terry. Good morning.
And this is our first episode of the BOB Rewards Club Shop Black podcast. As you can see on the virtual background behind us, episode 1, we are going to tell you all about the wonderful offerings of the BOB Rewards Club, the benefits and opportunities that exist therein. Meaning not only can you observe what we have to offer, you can also be a part of it in many ways. And today we have joining us is the president, Michelle Gibson, and also the vice president, Jasmine Gant. So without further delay, we're going to bring them on and introduce you to them. And we're going to have a great conversation. Let's see. By the way, while we're getting all of that together, why don't you all tell us where you are joining from? What city and state are you in? We want to know where all of our potential BOB members are. Where are you at now?
Also, just give us a good afternoon or good morning in the chat. Let us know you're tuned in.
So we do have joining us, as you can see, BOB Rewards Club, president and vice president. Above is Michelle Gibson, and below is Miss Jasmine Gant. And as you can see, she's also the owner and operator of aromastories.com. Well, not .com, but Aroma Stories. She's an aromatherapist. She is a personal care consultant for consumers, and she is also the founder of Aroma Stories. And she has a very awesome and amazing background. Definitely has the entrepreneurial spirit. Let you ladies introduce yourselves and tell the audience a little bit more about you and your experience and what led you to BOB Rewards.
Yes, hi. Okay. So, yeah, I'm Michelle Gibson. I am the founder and executive director of Bob Rewards Club. And basically, I started this organization back in really somewhere around 2015. And what kind of led me to start this is because I come from a background of sales, doing sales and marketing in business development for other organizations. And I ran a call center, which we do lead gen out of, and we still do across the country for, I did it for other organizations, mostly white-owned corporations. And I said, this is what we really need in our, what we need for Black-owned businesses to help them stay afloat, is the piece that brings the marketing along with getting them, doing sales and getting them contracts and all that sort of thing. And so I came up with the idea of Bob Rewards Club, and Bob stands for Black Owned Businesses. It's an acronym. And, if you just say, saying Black Owned Businesses is so long to put, on paper, and I just kind of wanted to shorten that. And so that kind of took off. And you might even hear other people use the word Bob. I'm glad to be a part of that revolution with the name, just to shorten that off so it's easy to say instead of just saying Black-owned businesses. But in any event, we do offer a number of services and programs that all kind of gear around marketing, doing, again, sales. We do events. We do a lot of mentoring, a lot of networking amongst each other. And we can, we share. And so we do have different levels of memberships. I'm not going to go into them now, but that's basically where we've been. Jasmine, who's our vice president, she is an original member of Bob Rewards Club. So she was a part of the original pilot program that we had did. I think that was late 2015 or early 2016, somewhere around that. that time. And basically, what we did is we focused on Black-owned business in the beauty product sector. Okay, so that is because Jasmine has aroma stories and she sells some beauty products. We put her in there, and so she's been a member since that time, and she's been a very good member. So I'm going to shut up now, and then you guys just ask me questions because I can get a little long-winded. I'm not used to doing a lot of interviews, and so just kind of shut me up when you guys want me to. Oh, I can't hear you.
I
Okay, I
can't
can
hear
hear you.
you.
I can hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
So,
great.
Jasmine, thank you. I know it's early there.
It's okay. When we first got on the other podcast, if you will, the other platform that didn't come through like it should have, it's okay. I was taking my son to school, and it didn't matter. We were going to do this podcast whether he had to go to school. I don't know if you guys heard me. I was testing him on the articles of Bill of Rights and the Constitution. I don't know if you guys overheard that, but I'm a mom, and so podcast and momming and everything about the morning. It's just all happening at the same time, and that's all right. I can't hear you again.
Well, no, I wasn't. We were trying to make your mic a little bit louder. We can hear
Oh,
you. It's coming through on LinkedIn with the closed caption, but it's like really, really low.
is this okay? Is this better? I can project a bit. Is this better?
A little bit. The closed caption is picking you up.
Okay.
I can
Well,
see her.
yeah, I'm Jasmine. I'm out of Los Angeles, California. My grandmother came here from Kansas, so we've been here for a bit. My family has allergies, so we were organic eating very early. We were label reading very early just to keep everyone healthy. Otherwise, we would have like cold and flu symptoms, and so that created a culture of label reading, of identifying ingredients that didn't belong. And it also created in me a natural database of how things are made and what should be in products and what shouldn't. And from there spawned Aroma Stories, slowly but surely. I think Aroma Stories we trademarked in 2012. And so aromastories.com has a very large fan base in Los Angeles and Atlanta. I work with, what do they call, tag team marketing, the Buy Black movement, and that goes hand in hand with what Michelle's program is about. And I think that all of us, Black folks, namely, need to find where you can buy whatever it is that you're buying from Black folks. It's the only way that we are going to economically survive. Things are changing a lot in the world, and we have to really hold on to all that we have. Everything from toilet paper to olive oil to your fingernail polish to your cleaning products. You really have to make the conscious effort to invest in your own community. And in doing so, you're investing in yourself. And we have to acknowledge the fact that we are a community, we are a people. And just like all the other groups of people, they support each other, they network with each other, they build together. We have to do the same thing.
Yes, totally agree. And we're headquartered in Minneapolis, but we do have chapters nationwide. And so we're glad that LaShon and Deuce are going to be helping us build a chapter in the Carolinas. I'm glad that we are a national organization because it is nice to know and network with the whole network of people in LA, in California, people in Texas, people in Georgia. And that's very important. I mean, in business, as we talk about, especially with selling products and services, if you can go beyond your state, your revenue is going to be able to grow. You're going to be able to be more sustainable as a business if you can cross over the state lines and sell your products in other states. So
So for Jasmine, Jasmine, for you, it was a very conscious effort. Once you saw what BOB Rewards was about, you were like, "This is definitely something I want to be a part of."
Yeah, it was how can I say, Michelle found me, and she
Okay.
knew she knew I was going to be on board. And I've recently become vice president, and she needed me to take that role. And of course, I'm here. Of course, I'm here to build. I'm here for the long haul. And we're just trying. We're trying to figure this out so that we can connect the dots and do our calling. This is clearly part of our calling.
Right. It is. I am semi-retired. So this is basically really my baby and where what I want to do for the rest of my life, you know. Um, like,
Amen to
I've
that.
done all my work in corporate America. I've done all my work working for other people. I've been an entrepreneur since I've been in my early 20s. So running different types of businesses, from owning a flower shop, owning an event production company, leasing out. I even had a diversity training company at one point in time.
Oh wow.
So, I've just been an entrepreneur. And I think that when you enter the field of entrepreneurship, that it comes along with, being in business, that you find other, streams of income. You also find other ways to grow, not just, in one particular industry, but maybe in multiple. So,
To piggyback off that, like you can see how entrepreneurship itself has evolved over time. Like
mhm,
you can include like all the factors that we have with the internet and how it's beneficial. Could you speak
right.
on that?
Well, yeah, I mean, look at what the internet has done. I mean, business is, innovation as well. So, businesses get created on new ideas and new ways of doing things, new products, new services. And so that's the innovation. So when, the internet came out, that's new technology that
Hmm.
brought us to be able to communicate, to be able to sell things. I mean, just look at in the what the internet did during the pandemic. I mean, everybody was staying in their homes, right? People
Hmm.
were shopping
Right.
online, getting everything brought to their doorstep. The kids were learning online. Courts even today we're conducting court online. You understand? So yeah, I mean, without the internet, I don't even know where we'd be for today.
I
Um,
don't quite know the statistics on how many businesses or at-home businesses or online businesses started during the pandemic. Like I know some people really feel like they missed out or maybe wasted time even not doing being productive during that period of time.
right. Well, they're understanding that, a brick and mortar is not as important as being online. We're seeing that literally
Hmm.
happening today with a lot of our major retailers are shutting down branches. Even banks are doing so. The banks are saying that not as many people are walking through those branches anymore, right? Okay, like
Hmm.
look at Bank of America. You can deposit by taking a picture of your check. You don't need to walk in a bank like that anymore. And so they're closing these branches because they're just not economically feasible. I mean, the companies can save a lot of money. That's that downsizing part, And so, because we're in a somewhat economic slump, okay, this country is right now, but we can come out of it. You know, um, we're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing Targets, we're seeing Walmart's even close stores. We're seeing it
Right.
because everything is online now. Everything is
Right.
online.
And
Yeah.
to stay on topic, but it's been a topic for us personally, um, particularly with black-owned businesses, and like you're saying with brick and mortars, with everything going on with gentrification in these particular cities, like high-value cities, they're not allowing us back in. Once they get us out, they're not allowing us back in. So for black people to start their own business or online business is very beneficial as well.
Very beneficial. Yep. definitely. But I mean, there's a need still for brick and mortars. Okay. I think
Hmm.
the way that brick and mortars, though, how we walk into a place publicly, I think in 10, 20 years from now, that's going to change. I think that, and there's a lot of different factors that I don't know if we need to get into today, but
Right.
even things, if we look at, there's more gun violence. Okay, people need to feel protected. I can see things changing how we go to the grocery store, in
Hmm.
terms of it being more like a drive up, right?
Right.
Kind of
Pick
a
up orders.
situation, just because. So there still is a need, again, for some brick and mortars, but we're seeing even in the food industry how that's being changed in terms of these people who are making the food now. I can't think of what they call them, but these producers of food in these warehouses, right? And then they deliver
Mhm.
in the food. They don't necessarily need that restaurant. They don't need that. A cook doesn't need the restaurant anymore to sell the food.
Right. Right.
Okay. So things are changing. And the quicker we are to see and recognize the change and get on it, the better we are in terms of being more successful in our venture. And if, I've actually, and just to add to this, we actually have a couple of Bob members. One of them, I won't mention her name because she didn't give me permission, but she called me not too long ago and said, Michelle, do you know of where I can get a brick and mortar? It's happened twice now
Mm.
in the last month and a half. I actually steered her and them away from getting a brick and mortar because I said, I think you should take those dollars and put it more into the marketing and building yourself online with a good website, and put all them dollars into marketing yourself for what you
Mhm.
need.
Yes.
I mean, and then plus, if you need time to show your product or so on, there's other ways that you can go show your product versus you taking on that big expense. And then 3 months
Mhm.
from now, you're upset because nobody's walking through the door. You got
Right.
to remember that people got to actually walk through that door and purchase your product. So do you want to take on that big expense? Even though today you've got those dollars, right? 3 months from
Right.
now, you may not have that
That's right.
money. And so I just want everybody to. So one thing that we encourage here at Bob Rewards is we're about sustainability for Black-owned businesses, and we're about helping them stay in business. That means if there is a strategy that you need, or you sitting down and looking at your expenses and your accounting, and kind of scaling back on that, different things that we can help you do so that you can stay in business. And I think that's where a lot of Black-owned businesses struggle, because we, like I said, we don't have that infrastructure when it comes to
Mhm.
having those mentors, in
A
our
lot of people want to be
circle. Yeah.
CEOs and bosses and be independent, and not saying just winging it, because you have to do the information and do the research for yourself, but they're not being educated. They're not being guided in the right direction. And
Right.
maybe, like you said, they don't know where to look or where to find these particular platforms like BOB to get the education.
Right.
Well, let me add to that real quick. Jasmine, I'm sorry, I'm talking so much. Okay. So, one of the things too, if you notice, our membership is only $25 a year. If you go to bobrewards.club, you're not going to find that anywhere. Okay. Most business development programs, most business associations, memberships, and that sort of thing, they're, they're hundreds of dollars up into the thousands of dollars. Very expensive for someone who doesn't have very much but wants to start a business to join the Chamber of Commerce in a specific city, and then the Black Chamber of Commerce is charging this astronomical fee to join. Okay, I know in my journey of being an entrepreneur since I was in my early 20s, that's been over 35 years now, that I can only belong to one Black Chamber of Commerce when I owned a flower shop, when I owned businesses, because they were too expensive. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the benefit that you get sometimes is not even there. I mean, I know it's not there. You really get a lot of value with your $25 with Bob Rewards Club, to the point of constantly getting free consulting, any questions, answer. If you need a lawyer, if you need an accountant, we will find you one. You need someone to do your logo, your graphic art, we will find you someone. Okay, you can sell your products at our events. You're going to network. People who attend our events, we do big events, they end up getting more contracts out of those events. So it's, the value of belonging to Bob Rewards is non-existent when it comes to where we pair with other organizations. In fact, they're all looking at us right now. I can tell you that, at what we do, because we're built on a mission to change the social economic status of Blacks. We can't do that with all these barriers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
High price fees are barriers to Black owned businesses.
Yeah.
We're already, taking the loss of not being able to have a marketing team, an advertising team, a human resources team. You get what I'm saying? Like our white counterparts when they have businesses, right? So we're at a loss. And so therefore I want people to be able to take those dollars and reinvest, instead of paying me $100 a month, or the organization $100 a month. Okay.
When they're already struggling.
Right. And we are a nonprofit, by the way, so it's not about me. We are a public organization. But yeah.
Right. So I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
To get back to Jasmine, right? So like Michelle was saying, with the barriers and some of the struggles with entrepreneurs, can you tell us some of the hurdles that you had to jump to get where you are today? I know you spoke a little bit about your journey, but can you speak on the hardship that you've had or encountered?
Well, it's interesting, the lack of mentors. I had opportunities when I was younger because I've started this entrepreneurial game when I was in high school. If I would have had a mentor to get me into the UPC game, right? The UPC
Mhm.
barcodes, because
Mhm.
there was a change. Now they count every single. How can I say? The UPC system is a means of tracking sales, not just for
Right.
you, but for
The units.
man, the tax man, if you will, right? Which is fine.
Mhm.
I certainly believe in paying my taxes, paying my share. Certainly believe in being licensed, being insured, being protected in every way possible. But there was a change that happened where the fees went from having your own UPC, having your own master UPC, to having to pay like per UPC. Now that if I would have gotten in the game, I can't give you the exact date, but I could have been on the side of owning a master UPC. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to being on the side of having to pay per. But because I didn't have anyone to hold my hand, I have found, how can I say, Black folks in the community who have made it through real estate, through business, but
Mhm.
mostly real estate. And when I have reached out, they're very protective. They don't necessarily have a
I'm giving
sense
away the
of,
game,
Almost
yeah,
like Vanguard, kind of keeping you out a little bit.
yeah,
and
yeah,
then to provide the information, it costs a fee, right?
yeah, yeah.
Sometimes.
They don't have the sense of community or the sense of duty to protect what they have and pass it on within the community. Now, I can,
Even if you're not in the same market, they just don't want to give away the game to saturate their business. That's
yeah,
not usually how it works though,
yeah,
because of course it's more of them than it is of us.
yes, it's like they're standing on an island that they feel that they made their own, and they're very stingy and selfish with it. Now, I'm sure there's a reason for that. I'm sure there are certain dynamics in society that led to them feeling that way and led to them being selfish with thinking long term, thinking about, just them. But as I'm coming along,
It's
as
terrible.
I'm building, I need my community. I need help. I
Mhm.
need for young ladies who want to get into this industry to say, okay, let's buy together. Let's buy land together. Let's
Right.
see if we can get a warehouse in the middle of nowhere, dirt cheap, and use it for manufacturing. Like that's
Yes.
where we are. And we kind of have to be that way. Not kind of, we have to be that way all over the country. We have to be about land. We have to be about manufacturing. We have to be about our warehouses. We have to have people who know how to do the how can I say? It's like food
Everybody serves
management,
a purpose.
food processing. Like everything,
Hmm.
you have to be concerned with cleanliness, bacteria, mold, mildew. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? You have to be concerned with is this machine flowing properly? Like we have been working, black folks, at very high levels of society, far and few between. It is time for us
For other
to,
people too.
a lot of people, right? They're pensioners now. A lot of them have retired, like Michelle,
Hmm.
But now is the time for us to say, okay, this is what I'm good at. How can I help? How can I be of service? How can we unite to make our own? That's where we are as a people.
That's right. And I wanted to tell you, Jasmine, I actually heard of Aroma Stories before I met you. So your brand is really out there, and that's amazing. Like I've heard, how long have you been doing Aroma Stories? Because it's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah. I used to go to Venice Beach. I don't know if you're familiar with the Los Angeles area. I used to go to Venice Beach when I was in high school on the weekends, and I have my jewelry and my bath salts, and a Rastafarian would always give me a piece of their table, because to get on the Venice Beach now, I think they have a lottery, but it was like first come first serve.
No
They're all
way.
the vendors like trying to get the spot because it's a highly foot trafficked area, and there's always this war that exists between the street vendors and the brick and mortar, so Venice has like this legend. It's a legendary place. And
Yes.
so, like I said, the Rastafarians would always give me a spot. But one day the police came, and the police will always come and see who's got their paperwork, and I didn't have mine. The police made me cry, kicked me off, and I went and got legit the next week. So I have been legit paying taxes, having my .com, my trademark, ever since. And
Yes.
yeah, I connect with whoever I can. Right now, I'm in an organization who's holding my hand to get me on Amazon. I actually have my first shipment in my trunk, and so they're
Wow.
paying for advertising revenue. Because Amazon is also realizing that they're lacking. They're lacking the black business. Where are we? What is the barrier? And so I have found that at this time in my life, I have come across some barriers um, within my family, and then let's not even speak about the barriers that are constantly going on in the world, right? So I think as black people, we are in an interesting position. We're watching the world kind of realize, I like to say this, that everybody's black. And I
Hmm.
like to say that, meaning that anybody can get got by the system at any time. Black folks already know this. Okay, we've already had our Tulsa, Oklahoma, and countless other places, destroyed. Where they flooded created dams over our cities. Like we are well aware that at any time, um, changes can occur. And that creates an unhealthy emotional instability, but it also creates an incredible strength, a willingness, and
Yes.
a knowing how to persevere despite it all. And I find that sometimes it may take us longer because of all the hurdles, but we're going to get there. And so,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, there are. people who exist who are out there reaching out their hand, like Bob Rewards Club, and you just have to find them. You have to keep your ears open, your
Hmm.
eyes open, and just always be ready to say yes to the right people, and get your constantly getting your paperwork in order. Like I recently became a it's like a government official minority woman owned black owned business. You know, long time coming. Took me way too long to get that. But when when you meet the right people, you can have it in 15 days.
Oh, wow. I'm definitely going to have to tap in with you. Somebody told me about that, and I didn't realize that so many benefits come along with having that stamp on your business.
Yes.
Awesome. For
Yes.
sure.
I was gonna say you maybe have definitely could relate, but I know we're the host right now. But you have a similar story with Jasmine, with your entrepreneurship, with your business that you had, being not particularly like an outsider, but coming to a different city and starting a business and getting bogarted
Yeah.
in certain areas and certain aspects. Can you speak on that?
I mean, it was like Jasmine said, like, and I think that's kind of how we all got to this point. Like, we've all gravitated to each other because we have kindred spirits when it comes to certain thing, or we wouldn't be here at this moment because we all have a thing in common. It's the passion that keeps us going, even though people have tried to block us out, to be vanguards and withhold information. Yet here we are through it all. So yes, my story is similar. Coming into actually before everybody jumped on the bandwagon before COVID, before everybody had their own streaming networks, I was one of the first or one of the very few Black female owned streaming networks. But it takes a team to do that, and Michelle has definitely been, as much as I've been a writer for BOB Reward. She's been a writer for CEPTV, even though we kind of rebranded and reformulated because that's kind of where my life has taken me. As you can see, here we are still supporting each other through it all. So yes, I definitely can relate on that end. And I just
So that's
like,
one thing. I was talking about the
oh,
cloth diaper business
oh
with the brick
yeah.
and mortar. Hmm.
Yeah, so I think Michelle was aware of the cloth diaper business, and maybe she came along after that. Actually, yeah, I think that was way after because I did the cloth diaper in 2010-ish. So yes, like just a lot of the knowledge. I spent a lot of money because I just didn't know enough, and that
Mhm.
was really the cause of me having to close that version of my business. However, I will say this: even though that business was not a success, that was the best real life education that I could have gotten, real world experience. No amount of school could have taught me what I learned by getting out there and bumping my head like that. And it's been on ever since. So absolutely.
Right. So what did you used to do with to use the how did the cloth diaper business work?
Go ahead.
I'm
Go
I'm
ahead.
curious.
So the cloth diaper business, it's actually still a really good market to get into. You just need to be around military because military families actually do. The biggest thing that was my biggest expense, it wasn't even the inventory in the stock. That was no problem. My biggest investment was educating people on the value of using cloth diapers versus us being so conditioned and brainwashed that Pampers and diapers are better because they're more convenient, but they are not economically better and they are not healthy for your children because they have like dioxins and all this stuff in the Pampers.
Mm.
And that's why babies get the diaper rash because honestly, with the cloth
Mhm.
diapers, you're not, I mean, with the regular diapers, you're not supposed to let them pee or poop more than one time in a diaper. So it's really, if you were doing right by diapers, you would be changing them as much as you would a cloth diaper. And the other benefit was that when a child could actually feel the pee or the poop on their bodies,
It helps.
it
Mhm.
makes them more uncomfortable and it helps them potty train faster versus the diaper immediately wicking the wetness away from their bodies so they have no sensory going on that something's wrong, I'm uncomfortable. With the diapers, with the regular diapers, they have to pee or poop 2 or 3 times in order to be uncomfortable, and you don't want
Mm.
pee or poop sitting on their body
Right.
that long. There's no reason why any human being should have feces sitting on making contact, or urine making contact with their skin for that long.
Right.
So again, all of that, and just even the environmental aspect of it. I converted a lot of hardcore regular diaper people to cloth diapers, and it was amazing. And we're gonna do it again.
I was going to say again,
Mm-hmm.
not to talk about history of the Moors, but a black woman educating white people about how to take care of their children.
Right.
That's imagine the people who tried to bogart her from doing that,
Right.
something healthy for our kids in our future,
Right.
and try to prevent that from happening.
Right.
That was my point. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely experienced that.
Right. And I know that there is a group, and I remember, what was it, maybe 5-6 years ago, maybe even longer, there was a movement of people that were going back to using cloth diapers. I remember
Oh
that.
yeah, they're still around. They're called, it's called
Yeah.
the crunchy mamas or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, like even when Jasmine, that's one thing I do like about Jasmine, is that consciousness about chemicals, what's going into the product, because
Right.
I think the more that we can bring awareness, and even in our marketing, to start educating people on what's in the product, why is it safe, and why is this best for me,
Yes.
what we eat, whatever we consume. And so yeah.
I think it's also important to educate people on the history, not particularly just like inventions and things like that, patents, but just the history of Black people becoming entrepreneurs.
Right.
The
Right.
struggle over the years is just as much a thing as Jim Crow in the
That's
South.
what she was saying about the Tulsa, Oklahoma, how they destroyed, and what a lot of people don't realize. Me and Michelle and I talked about it years ago on one of our first podcasts that we did about the towns that were flooded and destroyed. And I think Jasmine said it. Her volume was going a little bit in and out, but
Mhm.
the closed caption picked it up just fine. But those were strategic, all those points that they destroyed,
Years in the making.
those were strategic towns, because those towns were economic strongholds for our people during that time.
Right.
Like those towns were so independent, they didn't need outside neighboring white businesses
Banks,
or anything. They
resources,
circulated their money within their
exporting.
community 5 or 6 times before it left the community.
Mhm.
People found out what we were doing, copied and emulated how we were doing it, and then destroyed our towns and started doing it for themselves, and then made us dependent on them. So it's crazy. And so BOB Rewards stands up to economical bullying.
Right. And I mean, if you go look at on our YouTube channel, I did a video some years ago when we first started, and it was on it was on Booker T. Washington, okay, and Black Wall Street days. It was on Black Wall Street, and also my favorite ancestor was Booker T. Washington, because even that period, during the Reconstruction period after slavery, that particular period was when we had the most wealth that is on record.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For Black people in this country. And so it was integration that kind of, if we want to keep it real, it was integration that kind of stopped us from
It really did.
supporting
It
each
really
other
did.
and breaking up the communities and
Did
so
they
on.
use more to push the narrative?
Right. And
For sure.
and I mean, even if we look at even today what's happening with how our cities and states, like I'm in Minnesota. Minnesota is one of the worst states for Blacks to live in, right?
Lots of homeless Black people. It's crazy.
Well, there's a lot of most Black people make up over 50% of the homelessness all over the whole country. Wherever you go, you're going to find, most of us are homeless, because that, remember Dr. Claude Anderson told us about what was going to happen in the future. He was exactly right. in terms of where we're going to be as a people, where we're going to be an underclass people if we don't get our act together. Okay. And that does mean that we have to stick on our economics. We have to be about development, like Jasmine was saying. Right now, it's great opportunity in the business world. I'm going to tell you why.
Yes.
Because look at our economy and look at our shelves, okay? America has been so dependent on getting items from China, right? That we're not producing. Now, all we need to do is get our hands on raw products and start producing again. And I mean in terms of even having more fabric mills. We don't even have fabric mills so that we can create things. We need to have the raw materials so we can get back to manufacturing, again, like Jasmine was saying, and distribution. So once we can get control of that, we will be in the place in terms of, hey, the world is looking at what the Black people are doing, right? Because now we are actually doing something that is very concrete. Nobody can take that away. And that's why, and so we kind of need to follow what other groups have done in the past. That's one thing that, as I said, we were, back to Booker T. Washington, we were segregated. So we were forced to go to that Black store, go get our clothing somewhere, go get this and that way. With integration, you got to think again. Did that really benefit us as a people in terms of even looking at the structure of our families, looking at how, our communities are broken up, we can see that maybe was not the best thing, because
it definitely wasn't.
It didn't stay intact for us, even on a mental level, like it did for other groups of people.
That's right.
So very, very, it's a very heavy discussion, and you kind of gotta, you can't even tippy toe around it anymore. You kind of gotta just get it out there and say what it is, because I think so many of us are stuck on the greatness of diversity, but when it comes to economics and for us as a people, it doesn't work. It's not other groups of people. When we talk about Indians, Latinos, we talk about even Jewish, we talk about other group of people, they practice group economics, and we don't practice it enough. And so whatever we can do, and I'm glad, whatever we can do to change that trajectory, I'm happy with it. But I'm glad at the work that we've done so far. I'm going to be honest. From 2015 to now, 2023, when we first started doing this work, people's reactions, even with the color scheme, red, black, and green of our logo, even down to just saying, I am part of this Black-owned business group. There were Black-owned businesses that didn't want to be a part of that. They did not even want people to know that they were Black-owned businesses.
Oh, right.
That's changed now. I mean, we're seeing corporations, we're seeing as we give more attention to the racial wealth gap in this country, as long as we can keep pounding on that, we have a reason to be proud of the work that we do with this organization.
Absolutely.
And Bob Rewards Club. I have no problem saying shop Black, whereas we still have people in our community that have a problem with saying something that blatant, right? Shop Black.
Out loud, right?
So we still have work to do, but I can say that we are in a better spot today as we keep bringing more attention. And so as we do these podcasts, This helps. This helps
Absolutely.
brings more attention onto the
And
issue. Yeah.
absolutely. Jasmine, where do you see BOB rewards as the vice president? Where do you see BOB rewards in the next 3 to 5 years?
Ideally, BOB Rewards will be a hub for people to purchase everything from mayonnaise to vinegar, and
Love it.
not just that, but sponsoring and developing manufacturing and warehouses and land and having all the people. I have met some incredible individuals in the meetings with Michelle. People who have the resources and the knowledge. I have met maybe people I don't know by name, but people with incredible experiences where I'm like, okay, we have the parts. We just need to put it together. This
Right.
is a
Hmm.
puzzle. We need to put it together. It needs to be very clear and plain for us to see. We need a plan that's very clear so that you know, when our mind gets to wander for all kinds of reasons, we can always come back to the plan and say, no, this is how we're going to do it. See, it's real easy. See, and this is who we're going to call for this, and this is who we're going to call for that. So I believe that we are in the process of creating blueprints for our future as a people so that we can have economic security. And we haven't had that in a really long time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely believe that this is the tip of the iceberg for everything that BOB Rewards is going to be. The potential is there, and definitely having you two behind the wheel, your passion just is amazing. I mean, I've seen, and you've seen, Jasmine, even more than me, how tirelessly Michelle works behind the scenes for these events. And the way that the event turned out in 2021 when we went, that was just amazing, like to see the whole community come together. I remember standing there with my camera, and I just looked down the street, and I was just, just seeing black people, white people, everybody who wanted to come and support what BOB had to offer filled up that whole area with only one, and that's the thing. Like, the reality is, sometimes things happen. We only had one small incident, but it was not enough to deter or even, make a difference behind the whole thing. It was amazing. So I encourage everyone to, if you have a BOB event in your city and state, especially for the ones that are coming up for 2024 and beyond, be a part or at least show up and participate. These events are wonderful, high quality vendors. And they don't come just to sell you products. They come with opportunities. They come with volunteer opportunities and all kinds of things. So it's just a lot, and it was a wonderful thing to behold. It really was.
Yes. And our next event that we do have coming up is MLKnow.com is the website. MLK Now 2024. It is a unique event where we do recognize the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. However, we focus on issues that are impacting us today. And so, can I share my screen? Because I think we got a few minutes left. Or you want to bring it up?
Yeah.
You want to go?
uh
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Are you on the website?
no, it's just
Okay. Is that the poster? Okay. If you can, I don't know if you can bring up the website, but basically look at the guests that we have. This is going to be in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, at the Veterans Memorial Building. It starts at 10 a.m. in the morning and it goes until 6
okay.
p.m. Yep. And basically go to the website mlk.com if you want to come. We're welcoming everybody to join us. The event is free and open up to the public. Parking is free. We do have live entertainment that will be there, a lot of kids activities. It's going to be an awesome event. But the main thing here is that we do discuss important issues that are impacting our Black communities. So we're talking about recreating Black economies, changing policies and practices. And that when we talk about changing policies, how can our environment and our ecosystem around us make it better for us to create these Black economies, right? As well as how do we as individuals change our behavior so that we're supporting each other, so that we're creating these healthy Black economies again, so that we know where to go when, to the doctors, find a doctor or find a construction, someone in our community that does construction or whatever. So these events are important because if you go back to that other flag, you can see on that list, there are people that are very distinguished from mayors to business owners in the community to educators to activists that are all going to be a part of this event. So we're still accepting vendors. To be a vendor, it's only $75, and that's a non-food vendor, and then a food vendor, it's $150. And so we're welcoming everybody. If you're in anywhere in Iowa, if you're in Nebraska, if you're in Minnesota, if you're in Illinois, or even if you're coming from outside of those areas, to please be a part of this event. Like I said, it's a traveling event. It's not something that we do in the same location on the same date every year. We do it every year, but it's not going to be in Cedar Rapids next year. So we're telling everyone, if you're in Des Moines, wherever you are, to just join us. Thank you.
Yes, that is definitely, I'm telling you guys, you do not want to miss these events. We cannot wait to bring one to Charlotte. It's going to be amazing. So,
And we host.
yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Any closing remarks? We got about 8 more minutes here, bringing us into the 1 p.m. hour. And I know Jasmine has to get on with her day. She's been so gracious this early morning.
Again, I'm Jasmine Gant, aromastories.com. Free shipping for as long as I can offer free shipping. All natural products for the entire family, head to toe. Safe for your baby, safe for your pets. And I enjoy what I do immensely with love and looking towards a bright and prosperous future, not just for Aroma Stories, but for us as a people.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Love that. Michelle, any closing for you?
Yeah, just become a member. Go to bobrewards.club and join for $25 a year. If you don't want to be, if you're not a Black-owned business, or if you just want to be a consumer member, we're still offering $10 memberships. That does come with discounts. So if if you purchase anything within our network, you'll get a discount. Also, it's very important that, we work on dealing with a lot of the issues in our community. And I feel Bob Rewards Club allows us to help build wealth, right? Stay sustainable, as well as deal with some of the issues in our community, like with gun violence, drug abuse, homelessness. And so that's how come we're here. And so think about your relationship to being a part of Bob Rewards as you giving back to your community. Thank you for having us as guests.
Thank you.
Absolutely. It definitely has been a pleasure. We can't wait to talk to all of the other wonderful BOB members. And just remember, for the listening audience, you can be a part of that lineup and roster. Just being a part of the just being a BOB Rewards Club member, you can get on the roster to be on this show. We have thousands of followers, and we're building those lists as we go. So it's just going to be amazing. So we welcome you and invite you all to be a part of that. There's also more opportunities to head up BOB in your city and state. So you can always reach out to Michelle for that. Her contact information is scrolling on the bottom as we speak. So make sure you take note of that number. If you have any questions, you can also go to the website, and also there's an email on the website there if you have any questions. I mean, if you have any general questions and we're available, you can also reach out to us too, and we can get you to the right person and all that good stuff. You think for you, Deuce?
No, I'm just like I said, I'm just excited. Grateful for the opportunity, and thank you for choosing us. We plan to make you very proud.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank
And
you.
with that, we will go ahead and close out today's stream. Next week, the week after next, when we do it on the 28th, I believe it is the not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after next. When we do it that week, we will be starting at 11 Central, right?
Noon Eastern
12
Standard.
Central, 11
Well,
your time. So we're
Okay.
all in different time zones. So you're in
Yeah.
the East Coast, I'm Central.
Poor Jasmine, she got the bad
Jasmine's
end of
on
the
No,
stick.
no. I have a son. He's in school. It's okay. You guys are just on for the ride.
Yes. But we're going to have two different guests next week. Hopefully we'll have Tamra Taylor. She owns Snack Chat Networking Lounge. She is also our Guru Award winner for 2023 that we do award ceremony at the MLK events, MLK Now events. So if you come to the event, you'll get to meet her. And then we'll also have Barbara Powell. She owns Soap Tree Factory. And I'm going to have to say this to end with. One thing that really attracted me to Jasmine when I first saw her was her logo. And I always tell you, you've got one of the best logos with the little girl, with her. The same thing with Soap Tree Factory. It is, her logo is amazing. We just recently, our graphic artist redid her logo, but I think that marketing piece and what attracts people to the business. So there's I really love the people that we have as members in our organization, and I welcome everyone to just join us. I'm sorry, I got back off into the conversation again, but have a good day, everybody.
All righty. Thank you guys so much.
We were trying to put the logo.
Yeah, we were trying to pull up her logo, but
oh, you were okay.
Yeah.
Is it
but
on?
We had our website up there. Let me see if I can
the,
get it on here. I'm just going to go to the website.
Yeah, if you go to the website, you'll be able to.
Yeah, we'll close out with that. Just to look at the aromastories.com website. And yeah, like I said, I had seen Jasmine's site. I don't know what group I was in or how on Facebook, but I definitely was familiar with Aroma Stories. So her brand is definitely out there.
I can pull it up if you want. Oh, you got it? Oh, you don't see the logo there?
Yeah, it's at the top.
Oh, is it? Oh, there it is.
So close that little pop-up. Can we close that?
Get the way out.
Yep. And one other thing, Jasmine owns what do you got? 3 other businesses going on?
Yeah. So, I don't have I have daisyshadows.com. Daisy Shadows does print design, logo design, websites. I have another business, Printo Presto. We do what is it called? Direct to film printing, where we will print the film for you. Let's say you have your own heat press. If you have your own heat press, we'll print the film and send you the film. But if you don't, we will also press your shirts. We'll press your, canvas bags, your backpacks, or whatever. Like every other entrepreneur, I wear many hats. I've got many websites. I've got so many .coms. I'm almost ashamed. But I'm passionate about creating businesses and creating opportunities, and they are all for me gateways to employ people. And right now, I'm really focusing on land and a warehouse.
Right.
Land and a warehouse.
And Jasmine also is the one that we hire every, whenever we do an event to produce all the swag. So t-shirts, the bags, the bandanas, the terry towels, everything. She does a remarkable job. That's through her business, Printo Presto. So maybe on some other occasion you can kind of, when you have a better setup and show all of your products, because
Certainly,
he does have an amazing line of products and very sustainable businesses, in terms of providing quality work as well. Yeah.
Yes. Well, it has been a pleasure, ladies. We thank you so much. We can't wait to see what the future holds for BOB Rewards with you two at the helm.
Mhm.
Just exciting.
Very inspired. My gears are going
Uh-huh,
already.
I know, I
Yeah.
know.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy your day. Talk
Good
soon.
day.
Have a
Bye.
great day.
Bye. Great show.